Hello, I'm David Broadhead and welcome once again to the business programme here on Kirklees Local TV. How many of us have dreamed of becoming independent and starting our own businesses? Given the expected failure rates of more than 25% within 2 years and ultimately a 70% failure rate, it's maybe not such a brilliant idea, and for those that do succeed, it can take many years of trial and tribulation to hopefully hit upon a successful and sustainable winning formula. It's been over 25 years since I started my first business, so I do understand that. Today's guest then is a familiar face here on KLTV. Over 12 months ago I chatted to Andy Earnshaw, a highly experienced and successful local marketing expert, about the traditional aspects of marketing from a practical perspective, the so-called 7 Ps. But times move on, and Andy is here again today to chat about his new business and his experiences from a practical viewpoint on becoming a franchisee. Andy, it is really good to see you again, and thanks for joining us today to explore your new business venture, that being a franchise with Dream Doors. Let's start. Can I ask you what made you decide to take up a franchise?
I think that some of the statistics you just mentioned there are they bring it home that something a bit more proven might be worth investing in. And the older you get, I think the more risk adverse you get. So when I was looking for a new business, myself and my business partner, he already had a franchise that had done very well.
Yeah.
And we knew then that probably buying a business model, if you like, and then running that business model would probably have less risk.
And that's one of the key things, isn't it, about taking on that franchise? It should be a proven business model. There should be other franchisees you can look at, see how they've worked and how
it might sound a bit negative, kind of talking about risk and that being risk adverse, but it's a good foundation to start from.
Yeah. So what made you choose Dream Doors?
Well, we had a look around to see different franchise opportunities, and Dream Doors stood out actually, and it was when we were going through a process of due diligence and looking at all the information they provided us with, there wasn't a question that they couldn't answer.
Really, yeah.
They provided us with redacted accounts for different outlets, so we didn't know where they were or if they were our kind of demographic, but nevertheless there were some good, some not as good, but they were all fairly good, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They were all worth doing. And so we went down to see them and in head office, and it was just the confidence that grew with the business and understanding more and more about what the business model was. We kind of thought we could do it.
And what is a business model?
Right. Well, the business itself is, years and years I was doing marketing, looking for differentiation in different businesses and things like that. And then you go and buy a proven business model, so it's a kind of copying out, if you like, but it's not. And so what it is, it's a little bit different. There's differentiation being that instead of going into somebody's kitchen, it's kitchen renovations, kitchen transformations. So instead of going into somebody's kitchen and pulling everything out and putting everything on the, in the waste skip, on landfill, what we do is try and keep as much as we can in the carcasses and the general layout of the kitchen, and just change the doors, drawers and end panels. So that's the product, if you like, that we sell.
Yeah.
The business model being then that it's same as any other business, finding your customers, having a positive sales experience up to the sale, if you like.
Yep.
And then looking after them during the implementation of the product, and then keeping in contact with them thereafter. So possibly you could sell them some more product, because we do bedrooms as well, or we could sell something to their friends, because you get recommendations. So that's the basic business model and how it unfolds.
And presumably the supply chain is all set up as well. The pricing is all the bulk negotiation is handled on your behalf.
We've got help with setting up the showroom, with a choice. If somebody came up from head office and helped us choose the showroom position,
where is that now?
That's in Lepton. So it's on a quite a busy little cut through road. So it's not main road, but it's a cut through road, and it does get us a lot of passing traffic, passing trade. And so they help us set up the showroom, they design it all out. There's obviously the investment you've got to make. They help you get a bank loan because the Dream Doors franchise business model has been very successful across the UK. There are a couple of banks that want to support you with that because it's less risk.
Yep.
And so that's kind of handled as well from a bank loan, and then you put an investment into that.
So the sort of buying the rights to the franchise, but then there's also the investment in the business itself.
Yeah, you buy a license to trade in a certain demographic area, and we've got the HD and HX postcodes, and we can't trade out of that.
Yeah. Have you found it easy, that process? And is there any other support that's been offered as well?
Oh, the support, we get a business development manager provided for us, and she holds our hand really and helps us. Because to start with, you're so naive. I've not been in the kitchen market before. I've been in business before, and I know to approach customers, and I can understand it from a customer's perspective, the sales process, if you like, and what they're looking for. But nevertheless, you need somebody that knows about the kitchen market to fill you in. That's the gap that you don't have. And product training. So there's immense product training from suppliers, and then overall kind of business training from the business development manager.
Well, that sort of links me into the next question, the other ideas I had, the sort of the previous business experience that you have had. Has that been a hindrance or a benefit?
Possibly a good question, possibly a little bit of both. Basic sound business ethics, if you like, work really well. And like I said, because I've been in sales and marketing for much of my life, that's helped a lot. Running businesses from a cash flow, a commercial point of view, that's helped a lot to be able to understand your monthly profit and loss and costs and things. And you need a fairly good mathematical mind when you're looking at doing quotes, and it's just having the right demeanour in front of customers, trustworthy demeanour. I think that's worked very well as well. So all those things that you learn, through your career, that's been a really strong base as well.
So I suppose for you the challenge has been sort of product knowledge and internal process knowledge. You've got sort of that financial background and expertise, but for somebody maybe going into it that didn't have that, would somebody like Dream Doors, a franchisor, have been able to, I suppose the systems are all in place for that, aren't they? It's just a case of following that model. Yeah,
you are. You just kind of put your Dream Doors badge on and adopt the business model. And if you've got a nice personality and a fairly good commercial mind, fairly astute, you can make it successful because everything else is there surrounding you and supporting you. Like you were saying earlier on, your suppliers are set up. You can look for local suppliers for certain things, but most of your suppliers are set up with special terms. So that's easy as well. It really is just looking at learning products, which is a little bit more difficult the older you get. I think it's like 2 in and 1 out when you try to remember facts. But nevertheless, a lot's stuck in it, and we're doing very well.
Yeah, I believe so. Which is, I think you sort of in the top hierarchy, aren't you, of new franchisees?
Well, actually, in August we were probably the top 11 of all the going on for 100 franchisees throughout the country.
So that's both new and existing.
Everybody.
That's brilliant.
And hard work. It really is hard work.
Obviously, other franchises are available.
Yes.
For anybody that's thinking about taking on board a franchise, what advice would you give to them, based on your experience so far?
Look into them. Make sure there's no hidden things. That you take somebody with you that knows about business. Take somebody with you if you're looking at doing your due diligence. For somebody who's experienced in franchises. Like I said, my business partner had a franchise for years. It's been very successful. So we knew the franchise model could work. It's just finding the right one. And there are a lot of franchises being offered out there which haven't really been proven long enough, and maybe the return isn't there. They don't like people to see. We could visit other franchises before we signed the bottom line,
And there are exhibitions, there are magazines, and where all these things are demonstrated.
Absolutely. we found it just in Dalton's Weekly, funnily enough.
Okay.
But there are exhibitions just for franchises
Yeah.
that you can go to. And if you ask, there are groups as well. We're part of a bigger group, the Neighbourly Group. And there are other franchises in the group, like Mr. Electric, and then some that do kind of domestic kind of tasks, like gardening and things like that. But they're all franchises, and they're all worked on in the same basis as the Dream Doors one, if you like.
Okay.
Same foundation.
So when you've got this one really established and you're looking for a new challenge, there are plenty of other opportunities to...
No, I've got this really established. I'm going to balance my time a bit more, have some more life time and not work time all the time.
I think on that note, I'll say that's all for this week. Once more, I'd like to thank Andy Earnshaw for sharing his thoughts and experience with us once again. And I look forward to seeing you next time here on the Business Programme on Kirklees Local TV. Goodbye.